I'll just start it. We don't have to like immediately start.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell me when you're ready. Are you ready? Yes. Okay. Cool. So tell me about yourself and where you are in your life right now. Like what are you doing?
So I'm Cady. I'm 17 and I'm like currently studying A-levels. I'm enjoying art A-level.
Yeah? What do you want to do with that?
Like I know I want to go into foundation art in order to go into art uni, but like from there I don't really know. But I was looking at like fine art in uni. But then because I really love psychology as well, like I kind of want to help people
like
with art.
therapy?
Yeah, something like that. But then I don't know.
Yeah, you can make like those coloring books.
Yeah,
something like that. I used to love them.
Mindfulness coloring books.
Mindfulness coloring books for nurture.
Yeah,
you know, that's crazy. But yeah, that's amazing. Like, have you always been into art? Like, is art just like your thing? Do you think?
Like
it's like a calling.
It was just like a quality I was born with. I think I didn't realize that I really loved art until like a specific moment in nursery where like I waited so long to paint this thing and then I finally got to paint and I was like so gassed. I just like splattered paint everywhere and I was like this is not Picasso. I took it down. Yeah, and my nurse, like I didn't say this is not Picasso, but I was like this is not good.
This is not Picasso.
Yeah. My nursery teachers, they were like, Cady, you've already had your go, back to the line please. And I was like, and I popped off of like this butterfly painted and they like took it to the nursery head teacher.
Really?
Yeah, that was like a special ass occasion, yeah. So
oh my god.
that was the moment I was like, I think this is what I like.
This is what you're supposed to do or something. Like this is the one.
Yeah. It was just, it felt like it clicked way more than anything I ever had that I've done before, and
especially in education.
Yeah,
just be creative. But yeah, you've always been like alternative, like even from like when you were younger. Like I've seen like childhood pictures and stuff. Yeah, you've always been like quite alternative. Like how did you get to this stage where you could like express yourself? Was it like easy? Has it just always been with you?
Yeah, I would say so. Because I think I'm quite lucky to have parents that are also somewhat alternative. I mean, more when they were younger, but you can still see it in the like casual everyday clothes they wear. I think my mum and dad put in like a big effort to make sure that I wasn't like trendy and following trends, but I was like trendy in quite a unique way. Yeah. So like they would buy my toddler clothes from the boys and girls section. They would go charity shopping, and like I remember really vividly as I got older through primary school, we'd pretty much we'd only shop in charities, and it wasn't like abnormal for me, and it was the best because like no one I knew wore the same clothes as me.
It was like super unique.
Because that piece just didn't exist in the market at the time. Like it had been made like 5 years ago, maybe 10, like or even it was just one piece, the only piece that existed. So like I really just felt like the clothes I wore were really like unique to me. So we would mostly shop from charity shops, and so I had like quite a mixed match bunch of pieces of clothes. My dad would usually pick me darker clothes like black. I don't think my mum really picked out that much stuff for me. Usually it was more like flashy and girly, and I was like, I don't really like it. I'd always be like, I don't really like it. So usually the stuff my dad picked out, and my dad, his philosophy is I wear all black because I can't be bothered to pick out a colour, an outfit that matches. Black matches with black, right? So he would buy me a lot of black clothes, and from there, I guess my style had just been darker and more alternative looking.
And it just like evolved into more of like a unified version of just like black. Well, it wasn't like just like black. My dad would look for like quite eccentric pieces or like leather jackets. He'd look for. He thought like I really suited a leather jacket when I was younger. Like graphic tops with like fun stuff on it. Usually quite cool stuff like bands or video games that he was into. Like I would watch him and listen to the band, but you know. My dad kind of created a mini hymn with me, and like I did have a phase where I made friends with a girl who was like very
conventional and followed trends. It's fine, but I started to feel like I had to like fit in as well. So one day I was like, Mum, we need to go to New Look, we need to go to Primark, we need to go H&M, we need to hit all these fast fashion stores now. Like we went and like I got all these tops that said like, you know, like hashtag flawless.
Good, yeah.
With the like jeans, like the denim skinny jeans and like or like, I don't know, a top that had like an emoji on it and like sequins. Or like it wasn't me. And like for that 1 year I felt like I was like trying to appeal to other people. And one day I was like, this isn't me, and I just completely stopped. I went right back to what I did before, and I was like, this is definitely how I'm gonna express myself. And then that evolved when I like got to high school. Like that evolved more into like I don't know, kind of more like my style now. When I was younger, like it was kind of like casual clothes, but with a more alternative twist, like you know, black jeans with a band top or something, and like a black hoodie. But then like as I got to high school, I started to kind of expand a little bit more, and I looked more at like accessories, makeup, dresses, and different things, shoes as well.
Like exploring femininity.
Were
you like a tomboy?
So growing up, I was an extreme tomboy. I refused to wear anything other than like jeans with a baggy top. It had to be baggy, like it had to be baggy. And then it was like when I came to high school, I did want to try to like explore femininity more, and then I kind of went like hyper feminine at one point. Like I refused to wear any.
I remember we didn't wear like skirts. I mean trousers. We didn't own any trousers.
I didn't own any trousers. I still don't. I own joggers that I wear in like my house. And like if I'm going to like just do. Or like
go out.
Go to shops or something. But I literally, it was just skirts. And then I started, because I was like really wanted to express like hyper femininity, I started going down like a pink colour trend. And that was something, because I'd been wearing black for like a long time. Wearing pink was sort of like me trying to reconnect to like my child self. Like I was dressed in like all the clothes that you think a girl should be dressed in. A little baby girl. And like that was fun.
It's like reconnecting with her, and like healing yourself through like wearing the colour instead of like adding it to like a pink means girl. It just meant like girlhood instead of like actually the girl colour. You know? That's so nice. Oh my gosh. Do you feel like your style's evolved like enough now? Do you think it's gonna stop evolving, or do you think it's just gonna keep?
I feel like
going?
My style will just be like forever changing, because I notice my style really comes with my character, and my character is just forever changing. It's like if I wake up and that day I'm feeling really flowy and bright and sunny and connected with nature, I'm not gonna put on a black choker with spikes and some chunky boots. You know, like it just does not fit the vibe that day. But other days, and it doesn't mean that I have to feel depressed to wear that at all. It just means
it's more of your vibration matches your clothing.
If I'm feeling like I wake up and I feel really confident, I'm like I'm a bad bitch, like I got this, then I will wear that. So it really just depends on a feeling. I think like when I'm older, there will also be so many new styles and
new clothing. And stuff.
Because like obviously there are trends that exist now, and there are trends that existed back then. But I feel like there are always going to be new styles of fashion. Like some things that like I never even thought of would look good, and I think that's fun.
I agree. Like you can't really predict what you're gonna be like, 'cause you don't know what your clothes are gonna be like. It could be like crazy. And you could just dress like how you dress now forever. You never know.
I mean currently like my style isn't where I really want to be in terms of like self-expression, because I go to like quite like a conservative like high school sixth form. Their rules are not so bad, but it's just hard as well with like the people in my environment, to not feel overdressed in that situation.
When everyone else is wearing like joggers and like a hoodie,
grey joggers and a hoodie, like that's fine, and like it's comfy, but like for me, I wouldn't be satisfied wearing clothes like that for the rest of my life. It's like a temporary thing.
It just fits your like circumstances.
Yeah, it's comfortable. That's all it is. Literally. It's like practical.
But like so would you say you're like alternative? Like baseline?
Yeah, I would say I am baseline alternative because I could never see myself following the like conventional trends. Yeah. Like, especially fast fashion trends, even though they like dip in and out of alternative zone. It's not like what people follow as a collective is not me, because I'm an individual. Yeah, exactly. I just think I'll use the word alternative because all it means to me is that I'm not the norm.
Yeah, you're literally alternating from what the norm normally was.
Yeah, exactly. So when I say I'm alternative, it's not like a defining like category.
You're not putting yourself in a box.
Yeah, it's not a box of like, I'm alternative and I wear this type of style, I belong to this subculture, I listen to this music, I'm part of this group. It's like, it's not like that. It's a really huge umbrella term for just someone who isn't, you know, like abiding with the norm.
Yeah, like that just isn't normal. Yeah. Totally, I understand. Okay.
And like, I just don't ever see myself growing up and being like, I'm gonna conform.
Yeah, no, because some people do like grow out of it, but I don't see that. Especially because you've been like it since you were like a child, like a baby. So it's like it's just something that sticks forever.
Yeah.
But since you're like a person of color, do you feel like your like experience in the scene is different to say like a white person or someone who's like very Eurocentric?
I would say like my experience of being a person of color and being alternative has always had like some negative effects to it. So like I have Chinese heritage, and like during when I kind of entered like a gothic Lolita phase, I don't want to say phase because I still own those clothes and I still dip in and out of it when I feel like it.
But when you were like heavy into
it was like my ongoing current everyday style. I was wearing sort of kind of cute but dark outfits, so I would wear like thigh highs were a big part.
Like lacy
gloves. Lacy gloves, hair bows, skirts and dresses that were typically quite short. All of these things in combination with the fact that I'm Chinese or Asian essentially just gave me the label of anime girl. And there's nothing, I loved anime, you know what I mean? I loved anime, but I didn't want to be labelled as an anime girl because I knew myself I didn't look like a cartoon. No. That's not what I was trying to be. No. I was just, and I'm not Japanese either.
Yeah, like...
right, so, yeah, it made me uncomfortable, and then it was something I could just, like, brush off. I was like, it's ignorance, they don't really know what they're doing or saying, and, like, is what it is. But then it kind of like escalated further to like hentai girl, and that's where I was really, really uncomfortable, and I started to feel quite like sick in my appearance. Like I felt extremely sexualized. And like I was 13 to 15-ish, bear in mind. I started to like look at the clothes that I once thought were like really cute and quite innocent.
Like bows and thigh highs and dresses. Like they're very like.
I thought this was like a sort of like hyper femininity that I've been sort of like evolving into. When then bringing back the dark style I had growing up and like kind of smushing it together. With some, I kind of started being attracted to Gothic Lolita style through the internet, and I just thought it's such a pretty fashion.
Like nothing more. Like,
and so the fact that like this was being sexualized was really shocking for me, because I felt like I was just dressing like a doll, to be honest.
Literally.
Like maybe a more gothic looking doll. There wasn't anything like inherently sexual.
No.
So it made me really uncomfortable, and I started to like view the fashion in like a negative way.
Do you think that is stems from you being Asian as well? Because I've seen like there's a lot of in the Lolita scene. Like I don't think I've ever seen like the white Lolita girls get sexualized like that, especially in high school. Yeah, like, it's always like it's a very like when they're wearing like cute like pink skirts and the leg warmers. It's like, oh, that's so cute. That's so nice. Do you think it's because of?
I honestly, I think. I wouldn't know because I'm not these people that say these types of things or think these, you know, ways of thinking, but like my train of thought just went. I had like a full ass like sentence. Yeah. My train of thought was like boop.
Absolutely not. Like yeah, because I think the term hentai girl.
Yeah.
When they say like anime girl, they mean Asian, because girls in anime are Asian.
Yeah.
Hentai girl.
I think honestly it comes from this sort of stereotype that exists in East Asia that an attractive girl is cute or kawaii. Even it's not just in Japan, in China, in Korea, the desired partner is a female should be cute and innocent. And it kind of gets a little bit worse in the terms they use. They start to use like young, small, little, and it's just a bit like
and it's not like a sexy woman. It's not like because you'd say you like grown women can be very cute, but you want your partner to be cute and sexy, attractive, in
an adult way.
In an adult way, you can
especially in like the Western world, the desired woman is usually a very sexy woman, whereas there it's like cute.
Yeah, which there's nothing wrong with cute. It's just like in context.
Yeah. So I just think, I don't know, it just had these weird connotations to it, like wanting like I don't know, to be younger, or like hentai, or there was also lolly as well. I think there's a lot of like misconceptions with Lolita and lolly, because Lolita does not mean Lolita like the book Lolita. It's not a longer version of the word lolly. I just think there's a lot of like misconceptions there as well. And having those attachments to like the fashion I wore, it just got so like draining. Like to be called like a hentai girl, have those connotations to the style I was wearing, and also just being a female growing up as a teenager, it's just hard like to have all of these things. Eventually I just stopped wearing these clothes because I felt almost sick wearing them. Like I would look at myself and I was like, I don't know, I just no longer
when you're
felt
at
comfortable.
Like 15 getting catcalled in the streets, you don't really want to be involved in that sort of thing. Oof. It's gross. But especially as like a woman. Or a girl at that point. I think a lot of people assumed that I was putting myself out as like sexually available because I was wearing a short skirt and thigh highs, which is associated with like anime girls and hentai. But like that was not, that's not where I was coming from at all. Like it's just it sucks. It's just that you're also wearing bows and like cute skirts and frilly things. It's like that. They're just girly things. You know? They're not inherently sexual. It's just people have these connotations because of media. Right?
It is the media. Because we're talking about like the Western world. Like we live in Wales. These people have, they've never come in contact with styles that originate in Japan.
Like
so how would they know? You know, it is all through the media. But there's also like I've also faced discrimination in just other subcultures as well. So like when I went through a more gothic phase, I would get, you can't be goth, your skin's too dark.
Goth is white.
Like goth is, pale skin, white skin, paint or like,
like stereotypical goth girl. When you think stereotypical goth girl, it's like white girl, big boobs, thigh highs, that sort of thing.
And for me that was hard because I'm Chinese, naturally I already don't have very big boobs. Like I'm quite skinny, so I don't really have the biggest thighs. My skin is just darker. It's not I wouldn't say it's extremely dark, but I'm definitely not pale.
You're not white.
And I also had extremely curly hair, which, as you can see, is not extremely curly anymore.
No.
So as kind of like when I entered that phase, I really thought like I need to stay in summer. I need to, you know,
avoid the tan.
Yeah, I need to avoid the sunlight. I need to get paler. I need to straighten my hair out. I need to dye it black because I wanted to fit this goth subculture,
the standard.
Yeah, the standard, because it was to me it's such a cool fashion, and it still is. It's such a cool style, but the stereotypical, you know, goth girl does not fit everyone. It just can't.
No, I totally.
And that's like, I think that's damaging for a lot of people, to be honest.
Yeah, I totally understand. Like when I was goth, I mean, we were pretty much like goth together.
Yeah.
And it's like, people was like, I want a goth girlfriend, but I feel like that's never including any people of color goths.
Yeah, yeah. Like that, people are like, oh, I want a big T goth girl.
But a goth girl, yeah.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, hey, and they're like, no,
not this one.
Not that one.
I want
not
the
that
other one.
Like these ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of that, especially with like subculture, it's not very inclusive.
No.
Even though it's supposed to be a safe space.
Yeah, I mean, like the entire like foundations of some subcultures was to create a community of diverse people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, you know, in like the kind of like conventional way of dressing, there is no diversity, and that can like often make people feel really excluded, including people of color, people of different sexualities, like different cultures as well that have different fashion standards. It's just, I think like in a really like contemporary time, like at the moment, there's so much like gatekeeping in subcultures when the entire foundation was built on being inclusive and like being a community and exactly, being welcoming. But now people are like shutting their door because you don't fit a certain standard. It's like,
because you wear fishnets or you don't listen to this band or that band.
Yeah, that means like you're not goth anymore. It's like, actually, like you fit under this category. It's like, dude, like, who are you to tell me like what label I should fit under?
Exactly.
They're just labels at the end of the day. I think it really matters about the actual like doing of it, like wearing the clothes you like, listening to the music you like, meeting people that are interested in the same things. You don't always have to, you know, slap a label on that.
I feel like you can get like quite toxic because of the whole like fitting in a box. Like it's supposed subculture is supposed to be non-conformity. But in a way it's evolved into a way of just conforming to this thing. It's like saying to be goth you have to like what I like and listen to what I listen to and dress exactly how I dress. That's just conforming.
Another form of conformity. It's like previously we were conforming to like a conventional standard, and now we have to conform to a non-conventional standard. But that shouldn't be it. We should just feel free to express ourselves without having to be put in a box by other people. I think a lot of the time, like for me especially, like my style is just entirely suppressed by the people around me. It's not like they are doing that literally on purpose, and I'm the person who needs to let that not affect me. But I think like people's styles are really personal to them, and usually, I mean, most of the time, what starts to make that not so good for them is just the influence of people around them.
Yeah, who they hang out with.
Yeah, like I think that's really unfair.
Yeah, like when you're dressing for other people. I don't think fashion or style, even like in subculture, should be dressing for anyone. It should just be like dressing away because you want to. If you want to dress, like get your clothes from H&M, do it. If you want to be like full traditional goth, then do it. It's exactly. Like, don't do it just because it's like, oh well, these people would like it if I did this. I'd fit in more with this group if I did it.
Like whether that's like a conventional group or a more alternative group.
Exactly, it's the same thing. I just think subculture is about like non-conforming, and it's become a super performative thing. I totally agree. But back to high school, I feel like you were for a while like one of the only alternative girls in high school. I think I could name about 3 of us.
There's a lot of us now. I look at the younger years and I'm like, wow,
you go. But you kind of like set the foundations for that.
I know. I think there was like me along with some other people in my year group, and then you as well, kind of like made a lot of people feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll be in school and like I'll just get chatting with someone in like, I don't know, waiting somewhere, waiting for the toilet. And they're like, oh wait, your name's Cady, aren't you? I know you. In year 7, you did this, this and this.
Yeah,
and apparently like people know me for protesting against having to wear long skirts and tights and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know you, I can't lie, but like people know me from this.
Yeah.
Right? So like, I guess you are sort of right.
Yeah, like you kind of set the foundations for being like, even like I've talked to like people from the years above in our high school, like there was never really alternative people in the high school we went to, and I feel like we set a lot of boundaries for that, like the way we like dyed our hair or did our makeup, and like
I think
just didn't conform to the way that they wanted us to. But how did that make you feel as like one of the only alternative people?
Honestly, it felt really isolating. Like in primary school, like you get told like, oh, you get to high school, you meet everyone who's just like you, like you'll form a new circle, there'll be so many new people, because like in primary school I didn't really have that many friends that like I related to, or like we had the same interests, like that friend who I felt like I had to you know, wear the same type of trends as her. And then I got to high school and I was like, that was a lie. Where are the alts? Where are they?
Like I literally don't know.
Like I showed up on my very first day, and like the first thing that happened was I got told off for my appearance.
Really?
That continued until, you know, I left high school. But then so my first few years of the high school was really, really isolating. And I did get a lot of comments from people in my year, like depressed or like emo.
We had like silly ones, like we were just talking about how like people would say we're in like a cult, but not even in a jokey way, just because they weren't used to alternative people like, being in the same.
Thought we were in a cult.
Like genuinely were like,
not just like, oh, their style is dark, like they're in a cult. They were like, oh, these girls actually need to
stay away because they're gonna curse you or something. It's crazy. I feel like as like, because for a while I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit in high school. Like you did a lot for people to be able to like, I don't know, express themselves easier. Because even if they're not going for the full like gothic look we went for, they could like, you know, wear the band shirt they wanted to wear, and like they think, well, if these girls can do it, then why can't I? You know,
push the boundaries a little bit more, which is exactly what the school didn't want.
Because
they would say to us like, it's nothing against you, but if we let you do this, then everyone else is gonna see you and want to do the same.
Exactly.
So I think like we really pushed the boundaries with teachers. And at first they really didn't like it, but I think eventually like teachers started to kind of open their minds up a little bit more.
I feel like I left.
You left at that point,
that got to happen.
They kind of the rules haven't been relaxed, but I think their attitudes towards people that are trying to express themselves has changed. Rather than being like, you're defiant, you're a delinquent, you know, there's something wrong with you. They put us in isolation, literally lock me in a room for 5 hours.
Because your hair was in pigtails.
Like I remember I had my hair in like pigtails like this, and the like deputy head teacher actually said to me, you look awful. It wasn't even just like,
oh my god, I remember that.
It wasn't even just like, that's against school rules. And it wasn't, by the way. Have just like that hairstyle, there's nothing, you know, there was nothing written about hairstyles. It was pretty much bullying. She just said that,
but just because it was something different, or like you look different, it's suddenly okay to be mean, just because it's like, oh well, you putting yourself out there, so you must be okay with it.
You must want it.
Exactly.
You must be fine with it.
It's like when we used to wear like not platforms, but like higher shoes to school, and there's no rules against that as we looked in the rule book, and there's nothing against it, but they'd always find issues with
they would always pick something. I mean, if we'd actually like genuinely conform to their rules, they'd still find something.
Because we did. Like I remember in high school, they changed the skirt lengths, and there were still girls wearing like pencil skirts and stuff.
Like short pencil skirts.
I still think it was a bit of a race thing.
I think it was a prejudice thing, to be honest.
But they would always like...
They'd always pick on us. There were girls who wore really tight and short pencil skirts, like so tight you could see the panty line.
Yeah.
I'm not judging those girls, but what I'm saying is we would literally conform to their rules.
And by like the standard skirt.
We would wear the skirt that they provided in their shop.
Yeah.
Mine was longer than my knees.
Yeah.
And I'd still get told off somehow for something.
Exactly. Just because you look different. Even if it's not a race thing, it's still a prejudice against looks. It's crazy. Like when they, I think, especially with dyeing hair, going blonde was a huge issue there. As a person of colour.
The thing is, is there were girls who dyed the fronts of their hair, they bleached the fronts of their hair to be blonde, so their hair was either brown or like a darker blonde and the front was blonde, or they went from brown to completely black. Brown to completely blonde. But when you did that, it was a problem because it's unnatural. So what they're essentially saying is for a dark person to have blonde hair is unnatural.
And strange.
Yeah.
Because literally it was like, it's unnatural for people like you, and I was like, huh?
People like you.
Yeah,
really
and
dodgy.
like when I had the front too, like there's another girl in my year that had it as well, and she was
straight,
fine.
She's straight and she's white.
And white.
So straight hair, by the way.
Yeah, straight hair, straight hair. but literally, as when it was me, or like when either of us did it, because I know there's other girls that were eyeliner and eyelashes, but when it was us, it was a problem. And I know there was another girl at the time who was quite alternative. I know it was Flan, actually.
Yeah.
Flan, my love.
Yeah.
And Flan was quite alternative at the time, and I don't think that they had as many issues as we did with the teaching.
The only reason I'll say that they didn't is because my memories literally exist of me and you getting in trouble together.
Yeah.
When they were part of our trio. It's not like we were just a duo. Like they were part of our trio. So like, they didn't group Flan in with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which they had no reason not to, because they dressed the exact same as we did.
They did.
They did their makeup like we did. We all looked like had the same aesthetic, but I feel like we were always the ones getting told off, and I think it's down to something very suspicious.
Because we are people of colour in like a predominantly white school, already we stand out in a crowd of people because we are literally darker, have different colour eyes, large hair. Exactly. Like we will instantly stand out, and then on top of that, the fact that we're alternative would also make us stand out. I mean, Alicia, for example, she's not inherently like alternative in like a darker fashion at all. She wore longer lashes to school, and as a dark-skinned person, I'm not saying it is because she was dark-skinned, but there were other girls that wore lash extensions.
Thing, you know?
I remember teachers literally holding Alicia's lashes.
Oh my god.
They would make her take them off and they would put them somewhere. But I've seen so many girls that wear long lashes. They get their lash extensions.
And like getting braids and stuff.
Yeah,
like, girls would wear their hair in French braids and it was no problem. As soon as there were braids, it's an issue. I feel like it's a big problem in high schools.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like now in high schools. Obviously, I don't go to high school anymore.
There's like a girl in the year below me who's white and she has like cornrow braids. Like I don't have a say in that topic. But like what I will say is, babes, your hair's gonna fall out.
Yeah.
But like the double standard is that like a few years ago when you were in the high school is that you weren't allowed to do that.
No.
I don't know what the rule is now.
No.
But a girl who doesn't have textured hair can.
Yeah, which is concerning.
Yeah,
concerning.
It is.
But honestly, high school is a strange place. I think it's quite ignorant.
Yeah.
Towards individuality, towards culture, towards even just like basic things like self-expression within even like if like wanting a nose piercing, something so small and like silly, just a huge scene. I think it's a big trap. What would you like give advice to like any high schoolers that want to be more self-expressive but don't want to like get, I don't know, bullied or stand out too much, I guess?
I would just say that, like, to be fair, if you go to a school that has really conservative rules, ours was bad. It was like, you can't show your ankles. That is like 16th century level.
Literally, like, you can't show your ankles, you can't dye your hair natural colours, no piercings.
But I would say to like high schoolers now that like want to express themselves but can't because of the high school that they're in, is to honestly, it's hard because like, I would say just express yourself to like the extent that you can.
Are you comfortable?
That you're comfortable with around different people as well, because obviously high school just have so many different types of people. Express yourself to like the extent that you're comfortable with, but just remember that like nothing is like set in stone. Like, you could wear one thing one day and wear something else another day. You could overdress one day and underdress another day. It doesn't matter what people think about you, like, it really doesn't. It's just about being comfortable in the way that you express yourself, like the way that you design your appearance. It's you, like, it's literally you. There's no one else in the world that owns you besides you. I don't mean like own it girl, I mean like there's no one who owns your body besides you. Like, you are the only person who possesses that, so why on earth would you let other people influence the way that you know, the decisions you make when you choose to design your appearance? Your appearance is just entirely you, so you have freedom in that. And that's why high school is so hard, because it's like they're telling you to like conform a certain way, and it's like, well, why? This is me, like,
especially at such a crucial age.
It is a really crucial age, and I think teenagers especially need an outlet. They need an outlet, because the thing is, teenagers are entering that phase where they are beginning to understand who they are inside, and to be able to express that outwardly is such a huge part of that. And I think by making like high schoolers suppress that, it just stifles all of that expression. And it's creativity, and like creativity, I think every single person should do some type of creativity. Even if you're not like a creative person, like creativity comes in so many forms, but I think it's just so important as like letting out something, like expressing outwardly. And I just think like high schools, not all, but many do just really suppress that and stifle it. In my opinion, it's just to like reproduce like a certain status quo for when you go into like the workforce, to like dress a certain way and conform to a certain like standard. But like, if you're in high school and you want to dress a certain way, but there are people like in your environment telling you no, my advice is to fuck them, to be honest. Like, to an extent, like, don't get yourself in trouble. It's not worth it.
Don't go crazy.
It's not worth it. You have so many years to look forward to where your self-expression can be just completely...
Like, don't go and dye your hair neon green if you need to do natural colours, but go blonde. Go beach blonde, you know, you know, challenge it a little bit.
Challenge it. I'd honestly, like, just remember that, like, it's not permanent. In the future, you'll have so much freedom for like creative expression in your appearance. And also the weekends and after school, like, I know it sucks, but you won't be in that school forever.
It feels like for someone, the last interview I did with Concept, it's like a fishbowl.
It's
because
like,
it feels like that's your entire life. As soon as you get out of it, you're like, oh, it was not that bad. It wasn't. It's not your high school isn't your entire life. It feels like it, but it's not.
It's like you have tunnel vision when you're in high school, because you literally just can't see what's beyond high school, and it's too hard to think about, because you know you'll be older, you know you'll be doing different things at that stage. So, you know, like, try not to think about it, but just know that, like, you know, it is tunnel vision, and at the end of that tunnel, it's just light, and you have freedom to do what you want at that point. Just like, if you go to a high school that has like very extreme rules, follow them to like the extent that you can. I know that it can be really hard in some high schools that have rules that girls must wear skirts, or there are no skirts whatsoever rules, and everyone wears trousers. That can be so hard for people with like even like gender dysphoria, not even just gender dysphoria, just dysphoria in general. It can be so hard. it's just, it sucks.
Yeah. If there's issues like that, definitely challenge it if you can.
Yeah, I think you should try and speak to like whoever is like, you know, authority in the school. Like speak to other people similar to you and then maybe raise that issue.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to like speak up about it. But if there's like rules, follow them to like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
The bare minimum.
Yeah. It's literally just to stay out of trouble because it's so stifling to have a teacher. Like once you start to challenge it and like the way that I did that in high school was not polite. I was not polite. I will recommend that if you're going to challenge them to try and do it in like a somewhat formal way because they'll take you more seriously, to be honest. For me, I was so like annoyed about it. I was anger, right? So I wouldn't be like polite or nice about it. And that kind of made these teachers like react even more negatively and try and suppress me even more, and that like actually had an effect on me, you know, like on like my energy, because I was going to a place every single day where the authority figures pointed at me and labeled me in a certain way.
Yeah, exactly.
And it like it didn't feel good. So I will recommend that like try not to do it in like a chaotic way that's going to draw like negative attention to you, because it will start to create like a battle that's just an ongoing cycle.
Yeah, it's tiring.
Yeah, it is so tiring. It's so tiring. And like once you finish high school, you'll just be like, I'm so done. Drained. Yeah, it's so draining. Yeah.
But just remember the freedom of walking out the gates and doing what you want.
Like after high school, we would literally go get changed and then go out. Like,
literally. Like we just bring a change of clothes in the bag, which is always a good option as well. If you're scared of dressing how you want in school, immediately as soon as that bell rings, go to the toilets, get changed with your friends and go out.
But be careful, because I remember we would get like told off walking out of the school gates. Like we literally like leaving the school, like we're not in uniform. It's like we're literally not in the school.
We're not. School's over. Yeah. Like, you know, some people can just be a bit crazy about it. But yeah, I'd say, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. Just be you. But if you had to say anything to your past and future self, like advice for the past and things you'd want to continue on doing in the future, what would you say?
I would say to my past self, like, literally stop it. Like, fucking stop, bro. Like, stop picking apart everything about yourself. Like, there's literally nothing wrong with you. Like, I might cry because, like, I don't know. When I was younger, I genuinely thought, like, the only way for me in life to be like the others was to get plastic surgery, to, like, have this, to have that. Like, I needed to change everything in order to feel like I was valued. Like, as someone with, like brown eyes, glasses, like wonky teeth, darker skin. I had spots when I was younger, and like super big, curly, uncontrollable hair. I felt like I was just never valued as like a normal person. Like when a guy or just even a girl would talk to another girl that had like straight hair, I felt like they took them seriously because they look put together. There's like this whole stereotype that like curly hair is messy and wild and right? And like it's not formal, it's not put together. And you see like a lot of people with 4C hair having to slick it back in a bun for their work. Like, that is so wrong. It is so wrong. I would just say, like, to my younger self that there's like nothing wrong with looking different in your appearance, and I don't mean style wise, because that was always something I was quite confident in until I got like a little bit older and made different friends, started following trends, and then came back from it. And then when I got to high school, when things were older, like sexualized, that did affect the way I felt about my style. But like with my appearance as like a person of color, I honestly felt so abnormal for my entire life. Like in primary school, there was no one who looked like me. The only other the one black girl in my class she was just like relentlessly bullied until she had to leave the school. And it wasn't like she left because she was being bullied. She got kicked out. Like, that's so backwards, you know?
That's so backwards.
Yeah. There was no one that looked like me. I never ever knew anyone that looked like me until
even like on TV.
Even on TV, like when Moana came out, that for me was like representation. I was like, she is curly hair. She became my favorite. I mean, she's not a princess. She became my favorite warrior or whatever. I literally watched Moana over and over and over again, and I just looked at the way that they animated her hair, the way it looked in the ocean as well, and like when it came out of the ocean, she just like flipped it back, and I would say to myself, like, you have that curl pattern, and it's so beautiful, and I like really like began to embrace it. And then I got to high school and something else happened, and I just thought, like, I can't, there's literally no way that I'm ever going to be valued whilst I look like this. So I just felt like I had to straighten my hair and like stop wearing glasses, like put contacts in. Like, I felt like I had to cover my skin with lighter foundation, and like I'd blend it the whole way down to my neck so people would actually think like, yeah, her skin's light like that. I'd like not show my skin like on my like the rest of my body. So I think I would say to my younger self, just like, seriously, just stop thinking that there's something wrong with you. It's really hard, like, because there's nothing that like I ever did. It was just my environment that constantly made me feel like I wasn't good enough. But I wish I could have seen past my environment. Like, the way things are now is honestly so much better than how it used to be then. Like, I didn't realize, because it's been such a gradual change, but the representation is so much better now.
Super.
Yeah.
Like, incredible. Even with like small silly things like adverts,
it's like really small silly things, like advertisement, like there will be like, you know, like, I don't know, it's just advertisements were usually like white person.
Like pull out any advert in like the 2000s and it'll either be like a white person or like a character. And that's it. That's literally it, you know?
And like then there was that phase where it was like, oh wow, there's like a black person in the background of the advert, like, you know. And now it's like actually like a very casual,
like it's
diverse,
so normalized.
Exactly. It doesn't feel forced, you know.
So would you like want to like show them how it is now and be like,
that's an idea. I would definitely like, I don't know how I'd do it. It would be like take photos or like put like a little VR headset or like just bring them to our time. I'll be like
the ghost of like, Christmas.
Literally. Like I'd bring them like to where we are now, and they'd be like look around, like things like they get better, and also we learn, as in me and my child self, we learn that people's opinions literally don't matter. Like, I'm in a relationship, even my boyfriend's opinion doesn't matter.
It's like what you perceive as real, it doesn't matter who else says what. What you perceive is what's real.
Exactly. And for my future self, I'd say, like, if you ever start to feel insecure, try to think back to the moments where you were like so insecure, like there was not an inch of like confidence in me whatsoever, and then think about how we like recovered from that, like how we regained that confidence, just to like remind myself it's possible.
Just like keep on reflecting, don't like lose how far you've come.
But I think like the main thing for me is literally just ignoring the influence of other people. I've always been like happy and content with myself when there's no one else around. That's literally it. And like I still let what people think affect me, like influence things, and I just want to stop. Like, it's not because like I want to be liked, it just it has like a certain hold on you. I think it is like the herd mentality, I don't know, but like I've always been a very individual person my whole life, and I never ever wanted to conform, so I'm just really not doing that, and I'm just not going to. just like ignore just other people's influences.
Do what you want to do.
And
just live life by how you want to, not what will make anyone else happy, even like your parents, your boyfriend, your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even just like when you say like don't let outsiders impact you. Not just like strangers, like genuinely, like your friends, your boyfriend, your siblings, your
exactly.
parents.
Because I love my boyfriend, but like if he says like, oh, I prefer you wearing that, I'll be like, well, fuck you then.
I like wearing this.
I like wearing this. So why does it matter?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was like amazing answers. And so if there's anyone watching that's really insecure and doesn't know what to do, what would you recommend them? What would you say?
I think honestly, this is like my very honest and brutal advice. Like if you already don't do these things, it doesn't apply to you. But to be honest, stop comparing yourself to other people on the internet. If you can't do that, delete it. I'm being honest. I'm being so honest. These people aren't you. It doesn't matter if they're filtered up. It doesn't matter if they're make-upped up, if they are edited, if it's photoshopped, if they have plastic surgery. All of those factors, they don't matter. Of course, it probably is every one of those things that you're looking at. But whether it is or isn't, it doesn't matter. My point is that person is not you. Like, when we didn't have technology, the furthest we could compare ourselves to was like very famous celebrities and our friends or our family and the people in our lives. But now you can compare yourself to any bitch in the world if you wanted to. Anyone. And there are so many people, right? And the reason why these people look so good is because they are owning themselves, right? Like,
exactly.
Maybe they take inspiration from other people, but they don't look at the face of another person and think, this is the face that I need.
Yeah.
They
work with what they have.
Yeah. Work with what you have, because what you have is enough. And
everything.
It's everything. Yeah. Like, you don't realize it yet, but that's where it starts. Like, it starts with, working with what you have.
Like finding at least one thing that you like about yourself.
Yeah,
if you're
and
really struggling.
It all builds from that. Like, you really need to focus. It's so hard, and like you'll use other people's faces as an escapism, like an escape tool. Look at other people's faces, and it might feel good for a sec, and then it feels like shit because you're like, well, that's not me, and it's never going to be me. And it's not, to be honest, it's not. So put it down, like put your phone down.
There's nothing you can do.
or the magazine, or like the ad, or whatever you're looking at and comparing yourself to. Put it down. If you can't look in the mirror right now, that's okay. But just start removing those comparisons from your life. And when you're ready, start to build on your confidence in yourself. It is hard. It's a strong thing to do. Like, it's a really strong thing to do.
Even wanting to change that is a strong thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I definitely say, like, start, like, just taking pride in yourself by even just smiling at yourself. Or I think a really helpful one is to remember how beautiful you felt and you were when you were younger, when you were little. Like, even if you want to look at a photo of your child self, look at that and then try and say the things you say to yourself now to that person, and you can't do it. It's heartbreaking because you know that person doesn't deserve that, and they are none of those things, and that you are beautiful.
Yeah, because you're still her.
Yeah, you are still her, or him, or them. So I think that's another good one, is try and imagine saying the awful things you say to yourself, to your child self.
A good place to start.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And when you were little, if you didn't feel pretty because of the people around you, or handsome or good looking or whatever, if you didn't feel good in your appearance, I'm just so sorry, because that's not fair. I think I like, if anyone is in that situation, I would just want you to think, I
think a good one is that your face is, I heard this recently, your face is a collection of all features that someone has found beautiful and loved so much that they wanted to create again.
Yeah, exactly.
And you at least think of that.
You wouldn't be here if your face hadn't been loved for not only years but like centuries.
Since the beginning of time.
Centuries, yeah.
Literally. So if you're really struggling, there's always places you can reach out to for help. You're not alone with it. Many people feel just like you do. And you're so valid for feeling like that, you know?
Yeah.
There's going to be someone that understands. Just find your people. Find your people, and they will help you.
It takes time, though. Like, totally. We aren't fully confident. Like, obviously we're confident, but it doesn't mean we don't have our down days or our insecure days, or like our insecurities still exist. You just learn to start to cope with them.
You learn to feel okay when someone takes a bad picture of you. You learn to just laugh at it and be like, oh, I don't always look like that.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Like,
a snapshot will never define you.
Oh yeah, well. Totally. So it's more about learning to like be okay with your indifferences. Yeah. And just learn to live with it.
One thing I will say is nobody is ugly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No one is ugly. This is another honest and brutal thing I'll say. Like earlier when I said just delete those comparisons from your phone.
Yeah.
Another one I will say is no one is ugly. Some of you guys are just unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I don't mean in terms of like weight or size at all. I mean like
mindset.
Yeah, mindset. Yeah.
Mindset.
It does shine through. Like when I had a more positive mindset, my skin was glowing more. Do you know what I mean? Like my eyes looked brighter. Like when I was in my worst stage, when I felt really, really ugly, it was because I was actually really ill looking because I wasn't looking after myself.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the mindset change that you need to
look after yourselves as well.
Because what you work on inside will come out, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you work on your mindset and just be like, in your mind you think, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing. If you call yourself ugly every day, you're going to start to believe it. What you perceive is true. If you perceive yourself as ugly, you're going to feel ugly. You're not going to shower as much because you don't want to look at yourself in the mirror. You're not going to like take care of yourself. If you think I'm beautiful, I'm worthy of being clean, I'm worthy of being healthy, I'm worthy
if you don't take care of yourself because you don't feel like good enough to, then it's only going to spiral further down.
Totally. So
I think even if you don't mean it, do try it and say more often, I'm beautiful. You won't mean it at first. If you're really insecure, you won't mean it at first, and it will feel superficial, it'll feel fake, like a plaster on top of a wound, but seriously, you keep doing it, you will start to believe it. And even if you don't for a long time, it is so much better than saying I'm ugly, because that is just an instant way of
literally spiraling. But yeah, it's amazing advice, and I would recommend you take it for sure. But yeah, thank you so much for letting me interview you. It's been amazing, and yeah, I hope you have a good day.
Thank you, and you have a good day, and everyone too. Have a good day.
Bye bye.